So now that we got most of the new releases covered, I saw that it's getting warm outside. It's like the end of February, beginning of March, and it was 70 degrees outside. Then the next day it was snowing, then it was 63. So I know spring's at least rolling around the corner here for most people. And so today I wanted to give you guys 5 of my favorite spring fragrances. Few of them just came out last year, and so I just wanted to share them with you. And so without further ado, cue the intro. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. So today we're not doing a new release. It's awesome. I love new releases, don't get me wrong, but I have done reviews, first impressions, follow-ups, all of that for the last 3 to 4 weeks. There's been 11 new releases. My wallet has literally been going crazy because of all the new releases, and we have more coming. And I know that you guys were asking me in that meantime, in that interim, on my live streams, on my comments, to give you guys some good tips on spring fragrances. Now that the weather's been really weird, even though it was the end of February, early March, especially in places that is supposed to be snowing in like 12 degrees, it's been 70, 65, then snowing the next day, then 70 again. Like today, it's 65 degrees outside. So yeah, I decided that I was going to do that. Give you guys some tips on some great spring fragrances going into it. Ones that also can be worn in a little bit cooler weather, like 55, 45. And so especially for people like me who were not necessarily into spring yet. So yeah, we have 5 going on here. 2 from last year that were new releases. 1 that has one of my favorite openings, and 1 is one of my favorite spring fragrances now. And so with that said, we also have 1 clone. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe and also hit the like button, as it also helps out the algorithm, puts it onto more channels, gets me more subscribers, helps it all out. So today we're going to be talking about the first one. This one was kind of a mixed bag as far as the fragrance reviewers. I absolutely love it. I know Curly absolutely loves this fragrance too. I think she even loves it more than me. I think it has one of the best openings of the year, but most people thought it was just a basic scent. This is by Hugo Boss. It is Boss Bottled Marine Limited Edition. So I love this opening, and a lot of people said it dries down to just a basic scent. Honestly, for me, the opening sticks there for like 2 hours, and then it just dries down, and then it's more basic, but it's still above average for me. I really like this scent, and the price is right whenever you get it online. If you can find it at a discounter, I found it on Fragrance Buy for $52. So for me, that is a fantastic price. You can also get it on News Parfums under $50. And again, it's called limited edition. They usually keep them out for about a year or two, see how they sell, and then they usually recall them. But we'll see how it goes. So again, this is limited edition Marine, and the best part about this fragrance, again, is that opening hour to 2 hours, at least for me, because there is what they call frosted apple. It's just an apple. It does have a little bit of a cooling tinge, but that's more from the mint. So I don't know if that's why they called it frosted apple. But the opening is a mixture of 4 different things. It is that frosted apple, cinnamon, sage, and then also that mint. And that's what you need to focus on. There's also a little undertone of woods. It is a slight bit musky, but for the most part, the fragrance in the opening is fruity, it is sweet, it is fresh, and it is just a little bit of a spice to it, but it's unique. It's not something that I've smelled before from another fragrance. And it's not like synthetic, and it pushes out kind of nice, like for above average for the first like 45 minutes. And then it starts to dissipate, just like most Boss bottles. If there was one thing I had to say about this fragrance, it's kind of what's well known around the Hugo Boss line, and that is the performance isn't that great. You get about 4 to 5 hours, which to me is fine. But after about 2 to 3 hours, it becomes more of a skin scent / personal bubble as it dissipates off your skin at 4 to 5 hours. So this fragrance, as it does get to the dry down, that fruity tone does kind of dissipate as you're left with more of a warm woods with musk. You also do get a little bit of sweetness in there and some aromatics from the clary sage. But overall, The clary sage mixes with that cinnamon, the frosted apple, and then you also do have that mint giving it that slight cooling factor. It's fresh, it's clean. It's really an easy wear fragrance for the spring. You can also wear it summer, fall, winter. It's really a versatile scent, just like the original Boss Bottled. If you want kind of a fresher take on the original DNA with some added mint and aromatics, that's what you're getting from this. It is fantastic, and there's nothing that really does smell like it in the opening. I love this opening. It is Boss Bottled Marine Limited Edition. Going into the second one here, I love this fragrance. Now that I got back into the Acqua di Gio line, there's two of them that are really, really good for the spring. But for me, I think one is better for the summer day and one's better for the spring day. And because this one's the greener of the two, I like to go with Profondo Lights by Armani or Giorgio Armani. It's Acqua di Gio Profondo Lights. So, just like I said, it's kind of like a greener, more aromatic take on Acqua di Gio Profondo. You still get those C notes in there. You get that rosemary that you know. You also do get some green mandarin and some cardamom floating in. So pretty much everything in this has a green touch to it. The green mandarin, even the green mandarin. You have the cardamom. That's a green, fresh spiciness. Then you have rosemary. You have some other aromatics floating in. And then you also do have the Acqua di Gio DNA sitting in there in the middle. Well, again, if you like Profondo, you'll like Profondo Lights. I think it is discontinued now, but I can still find it on FragranceNet. That's really good. It's just a aromatic, clean, green, spring and summer daytime fragrance for sure. I would say more for the spring because of that green tinge. You get about 6 hours of performance from this. It's not heavy. I would say it's moderate across the board. This fragrance is a well above average fragrance as far as the smell, and then the performance is a good one. It's not going to be one that people are going to say, wow, you smell so like unique. But they're going to say, wow, you smell good. Super mass appealing. It's an Acqua di Gio. That's what you get from it. As far as the wears, I would say you can wear this dressed up or dressed down because it does have that more maturity vibe to it because it is an Acqua di Gio. And so I would say more daytime, slightly dressed up if you do want to go out, or you could, again, wear it casual. It's an easy casual wear as well. It just doesn't have that much sweetness to it. So I would say it's more of like... if you're going to like this would be a good like daytime spring wedding fragrance, at least in my opinion. So that's Profondo Lights. Again, kind of a greener take on that C notes and the aromatics and the mandarin and stuff that you get from the Acqua di Gio DNA. So that's a really good one. Going into the next one, it's a release from last year, and I've used almost half of this bottle. Fantastic fragrance. It's probably the best. Yeah, it's the best one in the line for sure. This one is by Lacoste. It's Lacoste L1212 Blanc Eau Fraiche, or Lacoste Blanc Eau Fraiche, or Eau Fraiche. It's just so freaking good. This is an ambroxan, ginger, citrus, aromatic fragrance. And there's juniper flying through this. There's like lemon and bergamot, I believe. It is a citrus opening that has almost this green woody edge to it. The best way, and I told you guys 100 times, it's really hard for me to explain this fragrance. The best way to explain it is if you literally are walking through the woods on a windy day in the spring and you just smell the breeze and then you hold a lemon or something up to your face. That's the best way. It's very fresh. It's very crisp. And it gets you about 5 to 6 hours. It's not a huge performer, but it's one that's going to be fantastic. The ginger in this is just next to none. It's cooling, it's crisp, it is just effervescent, adding to that ambroxan, which they also have some woodiness. As you get to the dry down, that ambroxan provides even more of this woodiness and effervescent feel, along with that ginger giving it that nice effervescent pop. This is definitely a crisp, effervescent, clean, slightly like green, citrus, woody, aromatic fragrance, but it's very fresh. It's the freshest, like when you feel it, when you smell it, it's almost like you're getting hit in the face with like a sea breeze or like a breeze in the woods or something like that. It's very like airy, and I love it. I absolutely love this fragrance. I mean, it's seriously one of my favorite releases of last year. Top 3 probably. It's so good. I almost just tried to sniff the cap because I love smelling it. Going into my fourth one, so that was Lacoste Blanc Eau Fraiche. And the next one is going to be another Eau Fraiche, and again, they're not the concentration aren't. This one's an eau de toilette, and same with the next one. But the name of it is Eau Fraiche, so don't get it confused. Just like Eau Cologne, it's not like an eau de Cologne or something like that most of the time. This one by Jean-Paul Gaultier is La Male Eau Fraiche Andre Edition. They also have Superman Edition, and they also have Popeye, which I have both. But I found something out about this that is quite unique. Once I tested them all side by side, I thought that they were the same fragrance inside of all three. And while they smell very, very, very similar, this one adds something to make it longer lasting and to smell the best of the three, and that is ISO-E Super. So take that La Male DNA, throw it out the window if you don't like it, because this one is kind of like a vanilla minty neroli mixture. It has that florally background, but for the most part, it is a sweet, minty, fresh fragrance. So if you like Le Beau, like that type of sweet, fresh fragrance, that's what you get from this. It's just a little bit fresher, more leaning on that mint and vanilla. And then again, you get ISO-E Super just floating through the whole fragrance. This fragrance is going to be an above average projector, and it's going to stay there because of that ISO-E. And it's going to be pushing out on your skin for above average for the first 4 or 5 hours. And it stays on my skin for 10. I get crazy performance with this for a fresh fragrance because of that ISO-E Super. I think it was a great addition to it. It's a very linear fragrance from the opening to the dry down. You just get more vanilla in the dry down, and you get more neroli in the opening. As you get to the dry down, the neroli pretty much all but dissipates, but again, it was more of an undertoned nuance. You're more focusing on that vanilla and mint, and then you get some aromatics floating through there. It's very clean, it's very fresh, and then you have that sweetness encapsulating the entire fragrance. It's a nice spring, day, or night fragrance, but I would say this is more day. It's just really nice. So that is Jean-Paul Gaultier La Male Eau Fraiche Andre Edition. Going into the last one. This one is a clone, and this is going to be your night out of the four, I would say. And it's your most mature of the four, because you guys know I like the sweet fragrances. This one is even more mature than the Acqua de Joe. This one I got from Afnan. It is Supremacy, Not Only, Intense, and it's all fingerprinted up. It's kind of like a clone mixture of Nishane Hacivat and Aventus. If you just kind of took that idea and threw it out the window, because it doesn't really smell like either of them. It has the DNA more of Aventus, but it is a black currant bomb. So you get black currant in this, you get woods, you get bergamot. It is very fresh in the opening. So picture a little bit of citrus mixed with a huge amount of fruitiness in the opening for about an hour and a half. That black currant and bergamot are really the centerfold of the fragrance. You get a little bit of undertones of woods and musk. I believe it's cedar that comes through here, so a lighter woods. And then as you get further into the fragrance, about an hour to 2 hours, that's where the black currant never leaves. The bergamot leaves. The black currant fades to an undertone as you are looking at more of a musky, woody, semi-sweet fragrance that I think has some vetiver leaning through here. But overall, it is just really nice. And then about 2 to 3 hours, it's supposed to be a Nishane Hacivat fragrance clone, but the oak moss in here doesn't come through nearly as heavy as what you get in Hacivat. And this one, you do get the oak moss at about 2 to 3 hours. It comes in, and it's not a main player. It kind of just mixes in with the woods and musk. It's a really nice fragrance overall. If you want something that's going to be an 8 to 10 hour performer, if not more, it is also an above average performer for the first 3 hours, then more of a personal bubble for almost the rest of the scent. My wife said every time I wear this, "You smell like a man." I was like, yeah, until I wear leather and then you tell me to take it off because I smell too masculine. But she loves these type of fragrances because that's her masculine type of fragrance. But yeah, that is Afnan Supremacy, Not Only Intense. It runs for about 40 or 50 bucks. I think that it's a really nice bottle, real hefty bottle, nice cap. And not only that, it is a really great option and not synthetic at all version of the ones that are more in the $300 to $400 range. So let me know what your favorite spring scents are. Those are 5 of mine. I do have some other ones that are my all-time favorites, but I wanted to give you some kind of new additions that I haven't talked about in a while that I absolutely love to wear. So thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back with another one. Peace out.